So when it comes down to Skarlet's 1-2, it's a very unique move in a lot of ways. Here's the thing. So, as a stagger on its own, right, it's -1. It's really good. But one thing that people need to realize, when they do, gel this move, is that you could backdash. It has really, really good range. Let me show you. You see that shit? Like, why do that? Why do this, right? So I'm gonna do that and do that, right? When you could actually do this. Oh, my fault. And it just creates more space. I would definitely recommend getting comfortable with this. Let's just look at the range on it, right? I feel like this is something that people don't really realize. It has really good range for a fucking standing one. Like, this is very, very solid. So once you land the down poke, instead of always just doing it straight up, you get really good hit advantage. Like, you gotta realize that. Like, when you gel this shit, it's 14. Back then, I believe it was 10, which was your option was only to do this. But now, that little hit advantage, you can literally backdash a little bit and do that shit and it creates more space. Now you're asking yourself, why the fuck do I want to create more space? This is something I see Skarlet players do all the time. I think every Skarlet player does this. Um, 1-2, backdash, they go into that, or 1-2, grab, or whatever. That mind game on its own, right? But for this move, if you just stagger once and you get out of there and you put yourself at this range, this is the range you want to be with Skarlet. Maybe a little bit more back, or just does this is the range you want to be. The reason why you want to be at this range is because there's a lot of mind games right here. There's a lot of things you can do. When you do stuff like this is one of the best things to do in my opinion. Like, you land your down one, you backdash, create a bit of space, and right here. This is where, you know, you're going to realize what type of opponent you're playing against. One that's going to get punked if he presses any buttons. Because, oh yeah, oh, it's my turn, I'm reacting late, and they get clipped, or the ones that they literally hold the block button the entire time, and then guess what happens when you do something like this? So I'll do something like this, backdash, oh, my fault. Let me actually do it, hold on. So I'll land the down one, oh, my fault, I fucked up there, and then, and look at that shit, I could actually be -4, so let me show you, boom, my fault. No, I didn't do it. Oh my god. Boom. Alright, boom. -4. Minus fucking 4. And there's hella space in between us. Like, yo, that's kind of wild. You know what I'm saying? It's like it resets neutral. So, best case scenario is you hit your opponent, boom, they get clipped, they go far away. And then boom, you clip your opponent, they block all that shit, and you're -4, and it resets neutral, and you're playing the game where your opponent says, fuck that shit, I want it to be my turn, you backdash, and you just pop your opponent up, and it's Whiff City from right there. That's one of the mind games you want to have, because a lot of people really limit themselves to always doing this shit and then playing that mind game. It can be very, very predictable. When we start landing it down one, backdashing just a bit, you know what I'm saying? I would definitely recommend practicing it, like backdash just a bit, and then you play that back three mind game. Not only that, you don't have to play that mind game. You could literally do stuff like this. Boom, my fault. Alright, boom. And then forward 4 and grab them. Or you could even do boom. My fault. Oh my god. And then going for a grab. There's a lot of mind games you could do. Not only that, you could be a straight up stab and like, my fault, boom. And then going for an overhead. Not only that, dude, but when you space this shit out right, Kung Lao's down 3, down 1 is going to whiff completely. Maybe his down 4 will get me. I don't think his down 4 will get me, but let's actually do that. It's down 4, right? Good range, right? My fault. Why isn't he doing it? Okay, let's make him actually do it. But that is if he's, like, reacting to that shit. And then there's another mind game that you could do. Look at that shit. Like, this is really, really good. Like, doing this shit right here to your opponent is really, really good. And it's just doing one thing that's super simple and very realistic to do. Maybe more realistic offline than online. But, literally, just backdashing just a little bit off of the standing one and adding that mind game to it. You know what I'm saying? Not only that, but another thing you could do is a standing one into a short hop, and then kind of have like some ghetto ass mix-ups. Really, when you like stagger this shit, they have to guess between the low. When you stagger this shit, they have to think between the grab. That stagger this shit, they have to think about the overhead. Or do this, or you could just start playing keep away and like just making your opponent walk into shit. You could like backdash, throw a blood ball, and then pressure from right there, or like really fuck with them. Do this, throw a blood ball, keep backdashing and doing that, or boom, blood ball, overhead. Like you could do. There's a lot of little mind games that you can do off of just staggering this shit. And the fact that every poke will whiff if you space this shit out right. Maybe, I don't know, maybe Noob Saibot not, but I have tried this against Noob Saibot. I was able to make his down 4 whiff. But that is also if they're reacting to that shit. If they react just a little bit late, they're fucked. It's going to whiff completely. Not only that, but you can do something like this, and then like go in for a short hop, and really fuck with your opponent. So let's do that shit again. Boom. And then if you would throw that down forward, that shit will whiff. Boom. They get clipped. And then you can do whatever it is you want. It's also a great way of getting your health back, too. Not only that, you don't always have to go into tongue. You could literally fuck with your opponent and then go into that, and that shit gels, and they have to guess between a sweep or an overhead. It just spaces Skarlet at the position where she wants to be, which is like right here. There's no reason for you to use Skarlet and be up here. You know what I'm saying? There really isn't. So instead of just always being predictable and just doing this shit, you know, stagger this shit. Like when you land your down one or whatever, stagger it, backdash and then throw it. And then there's a new mind game right there that your opponent has to think about. And then that's when you can start punking your opponent and making him forget about that. Oh, this shit has a flawless block gap in it. You know, and then completing the string or whatever. You know, just always staggering this shit and make your opponent be really, really annoyed. So there's that as well. Not only that, it's a really good hit confirm, man. Like I think it's just really good for hit confirming as well. If you want to like find that hit confirm, dude, just fucking do it. Where is it? Let me show you. And then boom, he's gonna try to poke right there. And then, oh, my fault. I'm so used to unbreakable damage, my bad. So, oh my god. So usually I do boiling point in this position right here, but it's also a good hit confirm, man. Like if your opponent is blocking the 1-2, you know what I'm saying? Like you could hit confirm this shit. Okay. Oh my god. Yeah, my fault. I'm so used to just doing. Or not only that, you could also go. Here's some other shit that you can do. Alright, he blocked that. That's some other shit you can do. So let's actually talk about that. So just so you know, it's a really good hit confirm. Just I don't have boiling point in this variation. So just know that. And that's actually no. Let's just fuck it. Let's just talk about that shit. Where the fuck is it? All right, the Hannah Baker. Okay, so here's another thing about the 1-2, right? Is that you can get unbreakable damage, and you could also get not a restand, but like let me explain this shit to you, right? So this is you should be hit confirming this. I highly believe that if you should stagger this the one hit and then press your opponent. I truly believe that. But if you're going to the 1-2 and always backdashing, I don't know. I don't think it's worth it. I think if you're going for the 1-2, I think you should honestly hit confirm it or wait for your opponent to poke and you can flawless block their poke. Because most people are going to do like a down 4 in that situation right there, right? So that's honestly, if you're going to the 1-2, just hit confirm it or wait to flawless block your opponent. I think those are your best options instead of backdashing. You know, because if your opponent has a read on you, like Liu Kang could do a flying kick, Johnny Cage could like do that little capoeira kick or whatever side capoeira kick, whatever that he fucking does. So there's that. Now, once you start hit confirming this shit, right, and clipping your opponent, you have two unorthodox options. You could do this right here, right? You get health back, right? Because if, you know, I complete the string, my opponent's going to break, right? They're going to break, and I don't get nothing from it. But if I do something like this, I get free pressure. I could literally dash up and then throw a whip and put myself in a position where, hey, dude, you can't hit me, but I could hit you. That's in this position right here. Even if he flawless blocks that shit, go the fuck right ahead. You're going to whiff, Kung Lao. I'm sorry. You're just going to whiff. It's not going to happen. So if he tries jumping in this position, you gotta dash up just a little bit and put yourself in that position. But like literally, think about it. You could do something like this, If he fucks up, oh my god. Boom. My god. Boom, boom. And like you can literally get 14 health back if he decides to fuck up. You know what I'm saying? And you could really fuck with your opponent too. Like if they're expecting that shit and ready to flawless block you, you could do boom, boom, overhead. You could do boom, boom. My fault. And then dash up, grab or whatever. Or not only that, you could do boom, boom. Fuck with them. Go for the low. There's lots of really nice mind games off of this because you get the hit advantage of 10. The whip is guaranteed. I think the whip is the best option because even if some characters flawless block it, they're going to whiff. Like, look at where I'm at. Like, look at where I'm at. Like, you got. I would recommend practicing this, practicing the gel. Make your opponent jump or poke after shit. So there's that. And then my favorite option, honestly, is this. Boom. Boiling point. This is what I personally do all the time. I much rather do this than to do some shit like this. He breaks and he punishes me and then you hate this fucking game. You know what I'm saying? So that's just me. And not only that, it's just 3% less. Instead of it being 24, it is 21. And I'll take that shit. And then I'm pretty sure you guys have seen my videos where there's just endless mind games to fucking boiling point. Like I get so much hit advantage, it's like not even funny. So there's that. The fact that I get to hit you for 21%, and then I get to dictate what really happens next. Like I have so much hit advantage that I could press you with a blood ball. I could, you know, if I think you're going to roll, I can get my health back while you're trying to roll. I could just straight up just fuck with you, like make it seem like I'm gonna throw a mid and then walk up grab on you. I could use my back three while you're trying to wake up. I could like there's lots of really good options that Skarlet has. It's just she doesn't have a real meaty, unfortunately. But there's that. It's like holy shit. Like there's a lot to her 1-2 other than just doing the shit that every Skarlet player likes to do, which is this right here. I used to do this shit all the time. Ain't nothing wrong with this. There is nothing wrong with this, but I honestly feel like the fact that you could be -1, make your opponent's pokes whiff, and like be able to backdash and put yourself in the position where you want to be as a Skarlet player, is much better than doing this shit. What am I? -5. Yeah, there's hella space in between us, but some down fours could actually clip me. That's the thing. Some, like, I think Aaron's could actually clip Skarlet, but at the same time, or maybe a mid, you know what I'm saying? But that's that. But that being said, hopefully you bastards enjoyed. Hallelujah. Hollow back. Check you bastards later. Deuces.